everyone. It's Friday, one of my favorite days of the week. And it's one of my favorite days of the week because it's the day that we get to do story time together. I hope it's one of your favorite days too. So let's get started. Let's get those hands ready. Let's start by putting those hands up high. Let's put those hands down low. Now let's put those hands right over our knee and we're going to sing our favorite song. You ready? Here we are together, together, together. Here we are together at Graves Library with Miss Terry and... Oh, looking around. I see a lot of my friends out there today. Excellent. So here we are together at Graves Library. What do you think story time is going to be about today? There's a clue. If you look closely, you might see a clue. Does anyone here notice a bright yellow star? Okay. And then what is that behind the star? That's right. It's a rocket ship. So today, we're going to read a book about going into space. You think that sounds like a good idea? I hope so. This is one of my favorite new books. And it's a pretty long story, so I'm just going to read one story today. Hope that's okay with you guys. And then we're going to do one little song. All right? So this story is called Sadie Sprocket Builds a Rocket by Sue Fleiss, illustrated by Annabelle Tempest. And let's get started. Sadie Sprocket had a wish to travel far from here, to venture through the galaxy beyond our atmosphere. She checked out every book on space and learned all there was to know. No one's been to Mars, she said. I'll be the first to go. So, one day Sadie drew a map to navigate the stars. It's time to leave the Earth, she said, and travel straight to Mars. Because the journey would be long, she thought she'd bring a crew. First, we need to build a ship that's sturdy, safe, and fast. To make it there without a hitch, it must be built to last. They rummaged through the junkyard and they gathered at every part. They counted, weighed, and measured twice. She couldn't wait to start. Sadie and her crew worked hard to build her rocket ship. She scanned her map and she chose a date to make a stellar trip. We launched today, young Sadie said. I've tested every switch. She knew that even one small blip could cause a major glitch. Friends and family wished her well. Reporters flocked to see the space-bound girl with smarts and skill that would soon make history. 10, 9, 8, she counted down. The engine shook the lawn. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The ship was gone. The journey took 100 days. She knew it would be tough, but Sadie kept their spirits up. We'll be there soon enough. The crew tried playing cards and games without too much success. The pieces floated all around and they made an awful mess. Instead, they read to pass the time and took turns making food while Sadie wrote down everything and tracked their attitude. The Earth behind, so far away, was now a tiny dot. Then Sadie cried, "There's planet Mars! Smaller than I thought." As their ship was closing in, the captain told her crew, "We'll set up camp and gather samples. We've got work to do." She scanned her map of Mars, and she found a place to land. "We'll put the ship down over there, upon the level sand." "Get your samples," Sadie said. They filled up 20 bags. They tied them tight and labeled them, and then they painted flags. After one last photograph, they packed up their supplies. Then Sadie stopped to look around, and she noticed flashing skies. "A storm is coming, time to go." They strapped in for the flight, but then the rocket wouldn't budge. They couldn't leave the site. "Landing gear is buried deep. We'll have to dig it free." They jumped back in, but sand was swirling, and now they couldn't see. It's pretty scary. When the storm had settled down, they got their chance to fly, but then the rocket wouldn't start. There's one thing left to try. She quickly grabbed her rocket tools and she checked the circuit board. They cleared the sand. They fixed the wires. Power was restored. Once the ship had warmed enough, she shouted, "Time to blast." They zoomed by stars and asteroids, and they made it home at last. Sadie made the nightly news. The world now knew her name. The first to land on planet Mars, had rocketed to fame. She triumphed in her mission, but Sadie wasn't done. The pioneer of space had plans. She had only just begun. "One more question, please," they said. "What's next for you, Miss Sprocket?" "Maybe Neptune, but for that, I'll need a bigger rocket." The end. Sadie's rocket. Sadie Sprocket builds a rocket. Love it. All right. So for craft this week, before we do our song, I think you're really going to like it. So for your craft this week, I've put together, I have all these pieces, and I put them in a bag for everyone. And what you're going to do is you'll follow these instructions that say, glue the pieces in your kit onto the black paper. Draw your face onto the wooden circle, and then off you go to space. Have fun. All right, guys? So I think it's pretty easy as long as you have some glue. The packet looks like this. And the other thing I wanted to tell you too is this is scratch-off paper. So if you wanted to take like a coin or something like that, you can add some extra stars if you want, because underneath is scratch paper. All right? So for a song today, instead of doing our goodbye song, I thought we could do a song that goes like this. Ready? Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard your rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Blast off! All right, want to try one more time? This time let's do it fast though, okay? We want to go fast to the moon. 1, 2, 3. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard your rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Let's count backwards. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! All right, guys, Miss Terry's going to blast off into space right now, but I hope to see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. Be kind, keep reading, and be well. All right? Take care. Bye for now.